you to hear some of the things that are going on out there. We have this Michigan mayor, Gretchen Whitmer, who really is disaster. And she's on the Today Show today, and I want you to see how flip she is about stealing your liberties in Michigan. Cut 4, go.
Well, the overwhelming majority of governors in this country, as you know, have issued stay-at-home orders, but yours have been considered to be among the most stringent in this country. Folks who have vacation homes in Michigan, if they're residents, they're not being allowed to travel to those vacation homes. You're asking stores that sell things like, paint and garden supplies, having those stores shut down, not considering them essential. What's the thinking behind your particular stay-at-home order?
Well, let me tell you this. Michigan has the third most COVID-19 cases in the nation right now, and we are not the third largest state in the nation. That tells you we've got a unique crisis on our hands, and that it demands a unique solution. So we just had snow. I've got snow on the ground here in Michigan right now in Lansing. We're expecting, up to 30 inches in the Upper Peninsula. The fact that we're cracking down on people traveling between homes or planting or landscaping or golfing really for a couple more weeks isn't going to meaningfully impact people's ability to do it, because the snow will do that in and of itself.
Did you know it's snowing all over Michigan? How stupid is this woman? That's number one. Number two, listen to her fascistic reasoning. We're not the largest state, obviously, she says, in population, but we have the third largest number of cases. So you still handle this, quote-unquote, scientifically, not like a tyrant. You go into the nursing homes, the assisted living locations. You go where the people are who are most vulnerable, the senior citizens, others who have heart disease and these other maladies, and you tell them, you in particular, we're targeting you for good reason. We want to save your lives. Just give us a few weeks, maybe give us a month. But some schlub who wants to go into the paint store to get paint so he can paint his house because he's got nothing else to do, or go to a garden center so they can plant stuff because they have nothing else to do, what's the point of that? And these private companies, they know how to do this stuff. They're not going to let people, they're not going to have a rugby scrum in the middle of Home Depot. It's not going to happen. They're not going to have a kissing booth, at Sherwin-Williams paint store. I know, I go around, I drive around, I look at what's going on. Half the time, I don't even get out of the car. I just see that people know how to cope in these stores. So her argument, just generally, platitudinous argument, it's not good enough to do what you're doing as far as I'm concerned. So this is Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. Then we have Chuck Schumer on MSNBC last night, pushing out a lie that's been out there all day, today and yesterday, that Donald Trump held back checks to help people because he wanted his signature on the checks. It's a lie. It's a lie. The Treasury Department said the timing of the release of the checks has been in the works for a week. Has nothing to do with Donald Trump's signature. I mean, hell, somebody's signature has to be on the check, or you can't even deposit it, let alone cash it. So that's been a lie, and it's been going on all day long, because that's what the media do. I'm surprised they didn't say Donald Trump was waiting to get Vladimir Putin to sign every check personally. Cut 6, go.
I wanted to ask you, the president isn't a legal signatory to checks like this. I think the Washington Post describes that they're actually going to have to put his name on the memo line instead of on the signature line. This seems like sort of a remarkable ego trip from the president, particularly if it's going to have material.
So here they are, covering a crisis. Does it sound like it's a crisis when people are talking this way? Boy, what a nitwit is she. And of course, her idiot guest is Schumer, who's hiding out. Trump is a brave man. When you see this, there he is. He's in front of the media every day. He's meetings every day. He's following the social distancing and all the rest that they're telling him to do. He's leading the country. Where are these other knuckleheads? Go ahead.
This is in terms of when people get their money.
I agree. Rachel, I wish...
Stop a second. First of all, it's not their money. When people get money, not their money. Rachel, of course I agree. Of course I agree, Rachel. I've had to suffer as a result of these shelter and home thing, you know. My hair replacement shop isn't done, you know, drilling holes in my head, and I have a whole new cornrow that's supposed to be put in place here. You know, we're supposed to lower the hairline closer to the eyebrows, you know, and here I am, stuck in Queens, New York, in my basement here. Go ahead.
Ego trip. It seems almost every day the president thinks this crisis revolves about him.
You know, it's amazing to me. The president's out there every day. The president's making actual decisions. The president is breaking his ass over this, and then you have this lame brain who doesn't do a damn thing, who's in hiding. You have him doing nothing, absolutely nothing. You know, the president thinks it's about him. Go ahead.
Hires his needs, his enemies. I mean, look at today. Let's take two things side by side. He goes after the WHO. What good is it? How is it going to make the country better?
Ladies and gentlemen, the WHO lied to America. It's headed by I would argue the guy's a terrorist, but regardless, a thug out of Ethiopia. He does the Chinese Communist Party's bidding. They gave us false information, even about masks. They covered up. They said this wasn't a person-to-person virus, when at that point they knew it was. And this jerk Schumer wants to keep giving him $500 million. And so when the president says, no, hold on there. Let's figure out what's going on with these guys before we give them any more money. Schumer says no. So here we have the Communist China wing of the Democrat Party, led by Chucky Schmucky Schumer. Who knew? Giving aid and comfort to the communist regime in China as they give aid and comfort to the fascist regime in Moscow. Their hate for Trump knows no bounds. These are truly sick people. I'll be right back. AMAC, the Association